It's a little rude. Hello there. You ever get like a really bad nose itch? No matter what you do, it just doesn't go away. Good Lord. Gosh. It's because it's dusty in here. I don't air this place out as much as I should. I'm behind the camera drinking my coffee. I don't want it to spill or me to use it as a paint thing. Someone sent me clear coat, which was an accident. Should probably get new water. Huh? Water's looking a little rough for wear. Give me a second, guys. let's see. Kind of want to work on the blue over here. You know, like the lighter blue and then the midnight blue and all of that. So I think that's what we're gonna do up here. We're gonna talk about burnout. I get burnt out really quick, really easily. I just the things I like to do to help myself not burn out. I touched on the subject in an earlier stream. The things I like to do to help me not be burnt out are the same things that I do to be burnt out. And I don't mean for that to happen. I mean, I just, my career and my job is to stream. And that's the same thing I do to relax. And it kind of gets mixy-uppy and topsy-turvy quite often. And you know, there's things that we can do to not get that way. And sometimes people just don't know methods. So we just kind of sit here and paint and talk about mental health stuff. And if that's your cup of tea, then stick around. Feel free to talk in the comments. And yeah, ready? I'm gonna drink my coffee real quick. Ooh. I will say, smoke if you got them, if you're in the chat. YouTube gets finicky with smoke on camera, so we just don't do it. So we're going to do a little bit of the darker midnight blue up here. And the only thing that's really going to be blue. That's blue. It's a bit more blue than I would want. So we're going to try to see if we can do... Get one of those, any of those random stabby pains in anything. I get them in my hands. It makes sense for my hands. I didn't treat my hands very well. Well, it's a way better blue. Look at that blue. Let's see if I can get it. There it is. That's a gorgeous blue. I'm a big fan of blues. A lot of my paintings have blue in them, and it's my favorite color. So I tend to use it a little bit more than other colors. I'm trying to get better at that. I'm trying to use like orange and stuff. I do not like orange. I just don't think it's an attractive color. What is on that brush? Also, if you're an artist that uses brushes, I'm kind of new at using brushes. I've always just liked to use ether. His feelings got hurt. Other methods, like I would use sponges and all sorts of things, pens, paper. I think I just went paint all over my face. Thank you. I'm pretty new at using brushes as an artist. I'll use them for like fine detail, but only just started using them for actual work. So if anybody has a suggestion on a good brush set, because mine tend to fall apart after a while, and I know I'm a little abusive to them, but isn't that just me? So yeah, to let me know in the comment section, if there's a good brush set that that you have success with. Just let me know. I need to shake this a little bit. It's a little separated. Whoops. I mean, I do need kind of more of that color anyways. Let's see. Let's grab this brush. This brush kind of not working, so. Some strokes I'll use more blue, some I'll use more darker blue, just to give that that hue and shading of, not hue, but shading of different shades in the sky. You look up and there's different shades, so there should be different shades in there too. Hello, person. How are you? Burnout for me is when I'm just tired. Like I don't want to do anything. Like I don't want to paint. I don't want to go out. I don't want to go see friends. I don't want to do it. And burnout for a lot of people can be pretty destructive. Like you got your job, you get your life, you got this, that, and the other things. And when you stop going or participating, either physically or mentally, into those subjects, it can affect your life. It can affect your social life. It can affect your relationships. That's not good. So, what do I do when I get that way? Well, I paint. I go for walks. I try to separate myself from those feelings, from whatever is causing me to feel that way. Now, if friends or family or I'm kind of burnt out from being around my wife. Obviously, I can't just like separate myself from them because I live with my wife. But I do things that will help me not be burnt out. Painting, for instance. I don't always stream. When I do stream, I'm in a good, healthy mindset, and I'm able to just kind of pull myself together, similar to a social situation, because I don't like social situations very much. And I stream, and the more that I stream, the more I'll get used to it. Yeah, sure, but also the more that I'll get burnt out. Always. I mean, you gotta find things that kind of refresh that meter. If your partner or your husband or your wife has given you a little bit burnout, and you're just like, okay, well, I can't exactly tell this bitch to fuck right off. You can't tell that person to do that. I mean, you could. I'm not in charge of you, but it's not going to be good for you. In a healthy relationship. So like, there has to be an ability to break away without causing someone to be upset. Like, hey, I'm feeling burnt out. I'm feeling some type of way. I'm gonna go do my own thing, and I'll catch you up in a bit. Something as simple as that. Can help majorly. Just being clear and concise. For yourself, that's a bigger deal. Like it's harder for me personally to be able to recognize burnout in myself. I've gotten better at it as I got older, but when I was younger, it was real bad. I was not good at it. You know what they say about being good at something. You're never good at something at first unless you're savant. But like, you're never gonna be good at something right off the bat. You gotta work on it. So I mean, the way I work on my things is that I just try it. You know, I'm not gonna be perfect right off the bat. And if your friends or your family or your partner expect you to be friends right off, or sorry, professional at it right off the bat, then they got a hard time coming. It's just the way I see it. You know, you can't rush mental health. You know, I have family that don't understand my mental health, and you know, sometimes you just gotta walk away from those situations. Exactly. Missy said, I also think it's important to give space when you need it so that it doesn't cause rifts or issues or making the person feel bad thinking that it's them causing the burnout. And that's true. Like you don't want your friends or your family to think that they're the ones causing the burnout. I mean, especially if they're not. Too much water in that. You don't want people thinking that they're the cause. And even if they are, you don't want them thinking that they're the cause, because that really causes issues in people. You gotta be considerate, you know. Okay. For me, I just kind of hide myself away until I feel better. I feel less burnt out. I feel less tired. I feel less socially irrational. That's why I paint. I use a different brush at blending. I think especially nowadays with all these screens and you got your phone, you got your computer, you got your TV, everything's screaming at you to pay attention and watch and comment and be there and be there. I think it's just a lot of tiring. I think it just tires out a lot of people, and they don't. Hello, helicopter. I don't think that there's enough people to recognize that also technology can cause burnout. It's not just social. It's not just work. I'm actually trying to get better at putting my phone down during certain parts of the day and just sitting outside, going for a walk without my phone. Things that I can go out and do without having to have my electronics on me at all times. I think in this digital age that we're living in, it's really hard to do that. You know, you got updates, you got emails, you got texts, you got notifications. Everybody's live. Everybody's doing everything. I mean, that's why I only stream every other day. That's kind of what I'm looking for up here. You gotta take care of yourself, everybody. Seriously. I've been so burnt out from everything before that I thought was depression. You gotta take care of yourself. Just like the letters, I'm just putting down a base layer of blue, dark blue, and such in order to be able to add more. So I'm not doing inside letters or anything, I'm just doing what's easy-ish. Smoke if you got them. I gotta wait for a little bit of this to dry. This is, how it's starting to look though. Yeah. It's bending. I gotta get frames for it. I do have frames, they're just being used. Sip my coffee. So that way when I do more blue of the hues and stuff over on here, it doesn't pull the dark blue away. It's such a pretty blue. Come on. I mean, sometimes they get stuck. big glob. Didn't mean that to be so big, but okay. Oop, that way. It's opposite for the camera, so give me a second for me to figure this out. All right. Yeah. Thank you. And like I said, you look up at the night sky and it's not, especially if you live in the city, it's not just one conglomerate blue. There's light blue from the light noise, dark blue from obviously getting dark. Just layer upon layer upon layer upon layer of blue, filling in the gaps of a different blue. And the gaps of a different blue, and then the gaps of a different blue. Yeah. I don't know about you, but that turned out as well as I would hoped. I'll grab some light from it. There we go. The blues, the light blues, darker blues. There's some edging that I still have to do, but I'm not worried about it. Thank you, Missy. Oops. I'm gonna take a break, but I will live stream later tonight. This a chance to dry, give me a chance to air out the garage a little bit. Thank you everybody for tuning in. And I will see you guys later. Take care.